welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also give a like to this video if you enjoy cooking videos. Today I'm going to be doing a cook with me, but it is a little different because I'm actually doing a recipe I saw on TikTok. If I can find the lady's username, I will insert her somewhere here. I love watching her TikTok recipes because they're Mexican food and they're quick and fast. Obviously on TikTok it's a video that you do super fast. And for the recipe, I don't have the exact type of meat she used for her carne encebollada, which is just a piece of steak cooked with a bunch of onion. I don't have that. I actually just have costillas, and she had also shared a recipe doing costillas and salsa. So I'm gonna take those two recipes and combine them and just make my own. So basically it's just inspired by her cooking. Now the other day I had already made a salsa chile de árbol, and it came out so bomb, guys, but so spicy. I think I'm going to use this as the base for the salsa today for my costillas. Let's go ahead and get onto the video so I can show you the ingredients. I used beef costillas that I just cut into little chunks, one whole onion that I sliced. For the seasonings, I use onion powder, garlic powder, beef bouillon. If you don't have beef, you can use chicken bouillon. It will be just as good. Some black pepper. And for the chile de árbol salsa, I used tomatoes, chile de árbol seco, some garlic, and onion. But the main salsa I used is my roasted salsa that I have already on my channel. I will link it somewhere. That way y'all can see. I just boiled the ingredients this time. Now to start the recipe, I went ahead and sauteed my costillas in some olive oil. And the reason why I went with this recipe that I kind of like combined and made my own was just because I didn't have that much costillas. Like, it was just 3 costillas that I had bought. So I was like, okay, I need to make this meal a little bit more than, amp it up a bit. And I thought by adding one whole onion and just letting it kind of cook down together, it would be perfect. And it did, guys. It worked out so good. I managed to eat and I felt super satisfied, and my husband se sirvió 3 veces, dude. Like, that's how much he loved this recipe. So we wanted to just kind of get golden. Just let it saute, let it crisp up just a little bit. In the lady's recipe on her TikTok, she was saying she likes hers to be super cooked through and real crispy looking, but I didn't have time to do that because my husband was on his way home. So I just cooked it till it was nice golden brown, and then I started adding in the onion. Now my onions cooked down a lot. I just let them get sweat through. And dude, it made my meal so sweet. Like the onions, it was crazy. I'm like, damn, did I put sugar in this? And I know it was how, the onions had cooked down, like they disintegrated into the meat. It was so good. So I just put a lid on it and I let them sweat through, and this is what it was looking like. And this is when I decided to add in the chile de árbol salsa. And like I said, mine was super spicy, so I didn't want to add in a lot. So I only added about 2 tablespoons or so of the salsa. And then the other salsa I had made that y'all saw in that clip, I had already blended it in the blender. And what I did was I added a little bit of extra water in there, and that's where I added the beef bouillon and let it saute a little bit. As you can see, I was letting it cook down. I was showing y'all how I was cooking it down, just letting it kind of steam together. And then I added in the salsa. But yeah, so like I was saying, so after I made the salsa in the blender, I just added a little bit of extra water. Then I put the beef bouillon in there and I blended it just to break up the particles, and I added that in to the sauce. That way it had a lot of flavor and la carne no se me secara with the liquid. And then I just let it simmer. I let it simmer for a good 30 minutes, and I will show y'all guys what it looked like. For the chile de árbol salsa, because I didn't make it in the video, I'm just gonna explain to you how I actually made it the first time around. So what you need is chile. One second. Sorry. So what you need is chile de árbol seco. You can find this at any grocery store like Walmart, Kroger's, your Mexican stores, Hispanic stores. I have some in here. So this is about the amount I use for the salsa. The more you use of this, the spicier your salsa is going to be. I like my salsas very spicy, so I added this much, is probably like 13-14 pieces of chile. And I used, I want to say like 4 tomates Roma, and I used 2 garlic cloves, half an onion. And I'm sorry if you hear my son in the back. He's playing with a balloon too, so if you hear something. So what I did first is because these are dry, you need to rehydrate them and a sartén, and you're gonna cook them in oil. So you want your oil to get nice and hot. I use olive oil, so I just put olive oil on the pan, and then I added these. And your house is gonna be smoky. Y'all might start coughing. Corona in the house. Yeah. No, but for real, y'all gonna cough because y'all gonna start choking, and it smells so good. I love chile de árbol. So you're gonna just saute them until they change a little color. You don't want them to get black because then they're gonna taste nasty. You just want to saute them. I want to say maybe like 3 minutes tops. So just to get them, like I said, rehydrated and get that oil nice and golden. Now the tomatoes, you can either roast them or you can boil them. That's what I did. I just boiled tomatoes, onion, and garlic separately in a bowl. In a pan with water. Boiled them and then guisé estos. After these were ready and the tomatoes were done, I threw this in the blender with the tomatoes, the onion, the garlic clove, and a little bit of chicken bouillon, because I always love to add that to my salsas, and some sal. And that is how I got this salsa. Now my blender is a very simple blender, like cheap blender, so it does not take away the little pedazos of chile here that you see, those little specks. That's actually the skin of the chile. If you want a nice clean consistency, you can strain the salsa so that doesn't come out. Or if you have a nicer blender, or you can blend for way longer, it will eventually like disintegrate all those pieces. But I personally, I don't care for it to look like that, because it still tastes good. It still tastes bomb. I use about 2.5 tablespoons of this, and then the fresh salsa I made today, which was just tomato jalapeno. I have a recipe on that salsa already. The only difference is that the one on my recipe, it is roasted on the comal, but for today I just boiled it. So I will link it here, somewhere right here, that way you can watch it. It is a very, very delicious salsa. It's one of my favorites. Because it's just jalapeno. I love adding serrano to it, but I don't have any. But yeah, so if you want to try that, salsa, that's my like go-to salsa for like carne asadas, like tacos or huevos. Like that is my go-to salsa. So good. So today I made a big batch of that, so I knew that one was gonna be perfect. So I did that one for the guisado, just a little bit more, and I just added this. And the ribs came out so good. They remind me of like smothered ribs, or like smothered pork chops, or like, you know how people, I don't know if you know, like white people cooking, they have like smothered gravy food. That's how the guisado turned out. Like the ribs are smothered in the salsa, and it's so good. My mouth is watering right now. And I'm gonna serve it with some white rice and frijoles peruanos, or just maybe frijoles peruanos and no rice. That is how I make my chile de árbol salsa. If y'all guys do want an in-depth video, let me know in the comments down below and I will make it. I've been thinking about making a video on my top favorite salsas. So this is my first time making frijoles peruanos, and I found them at my local meat market, and for a 2-pound bag they were $5. That was kind of expensive. But anyways, besides that point, I had let them soak for maybe like 3 hours. I should have let them soak way longer. On the bag, it had said to let them soak overnight. And usually my pinto beans, I let them soak overnight as well. But these, I just decided last minute to make them with the meal. I realized que no tenía frijoles anymore. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and make some peruano beans. So I decided to just make them the way I regular make my pintos, which is with half an onion and 2 garlic cloves. And I let them boil. I felt like they took forever to cook, like 2.5 hours. And even when I made them, guys, I feel like mine were still a little hard, but I needed to eat already. So I just decided to refry them with some manteca de puerco with bacon fat, some onion, and jalapeno. That's how I like to make mine. Some of you ladies were telling me to add in some
tomate, cebolla, and chile, like to let them saute with the frijoles, and that they taste so good. I'm gonna try that next time. And then once it starts looking like this, I know it's ready for my frijoles, and I add them in and just smash them. And they were super creamy. My husband, he just usually doesn't say anything about frijoles, but he kept telling me how good these beans were, so he loved it. He loved the whole meal, and this is how it ended up looking. The cositas smothered with the salsa with frijoles. I served.
Okay, so I'm going to taste the guisado de costillas. Let's see how it tastes. It's so good. So I've never cooked ribs like this, like in salsa, so it's new to me. And then the frijoles peruanos, I've never made these before, so they are really good. So this is really good. It's spicy but not too spicy, and it came out perfect with all the onions. But adding all those onions was a really good idea because we didn't have a huge pack of ribs. But this is a good dinner idea if you don't know what to make. Costillas and salsa, super good. And the mix of salsas, I feel like it gives it that better taste. Like for today's post notification shout out is going to go to Celina Vertadillo. Thank you so much, girl, for leaving a sweet comment on my last video. I really appreciate it. And yes, us mommies, I feel like we all need to connect. That's why I love doing YouTube, because I get to connect with so many mommies out there and other girls that love watching YouTube like me. And I feel like we're friends. Like back in the day, I remember my mom used to have like friends que se hablaban y se chismeaban, and you know, they would inspire each other, but like, oh, ¿qué vas a cocinar? And you know, stuff like that. And I feel like that is the community I have with you guys. But anyways, thank you so much, girl, for that love, and I just want to send you so much love back. If you want to be shouted out in my next video, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like, and I will see you guys later. Bye.